Okay, go ahead, Cindy. Tell us what has happened since the last time, I think it was June 22nd, I did that interview with you. The judge had no subject matter jurisdiction because the plaintiff was null and void. Is that not correct?
The plaintiff has never appeared in any of the hearings. We don't know who actually filed the complaint. However, the attorney, Leslie Klott, is the person who filed the complaint and verified the complaint. So this attorney Klott has been the witness and the attorney. As what we know, the attorney can't be both the witness and the attorney. And it's very strong and clear to me that the judge, who was supposed to be the trier of facts, has been giving a lot of leeway for the plaintiffs and has been practicing from the bench, giving them sustained objections and just moving the court freely, not having to provide discovery, and just allowing rebuttable presumption that everything that they say is true and correct, and the defense, meaning me, doesn't really exist, and
So
they're just going to rob me.
They're going to rob you. They're never going to let you have a trial by jury, which I heard him say at one hearing he was going to set a time for a jury trial. Now he's
That
not.
was all a show.
Yeah, that was all a show. And in fact, the last time he said he's setting a date for 30, 60 days out. And now he went and, what did they do to your documents? You got screenshots that we can't pull up right now. But did they, the clerk or the judge or someone in the justice system of Orange County courts, did they backdate documents?
Well, what they were doing is they were holding the judgment from being signed off, and they were rejecting the document from being signed off, making it appear like it was a fair fight and they're really looking at things, but they're not. And so what we have here, fast forwarding, let's see, it looks like on July 18th, they sent in the proposed order, and it sat for a very long time inside the department. And then on July 26th, it looks like it was rejected. And then it went forward, and it looks like they filed the Bank of New York Mellon filed another proposed order the next day on the 27th. It was also rejected. And so they filed the Bank of New York Mellon filed another proposed order. I filed a motion to set aside, and somehow between the 27th, the 31st, the 8th, they filed an additional proposed order, and then the judgment comes, and it's showing it was signed off, but the dates are not in order. It's all out of order. It's amazing how they have. It's almost like they left line items open so that they can plug stuff in, but it's out of order. It doesn't make any sense. Even the clerk who was looking at the record was confused. So it's telling me that they're doing something behind the scenes, and they're backdating so that it appears that the judgment sat for a long time and that I knew about it. But I've never received one piece of mail from the courts. What's even more astonishing here is they signed the judgment,
Yep.
filed an application for a writ of possession, and issued a writ all in the same day.
They're getting very, very efficient when they want to be, aren't they?
Yeah, here's a proposed order for June 22nd that was filed the 27th, and this one's not even signed, so they couldn't even certify this document.
Which is
because
they haven't served you yet because they.
No, you don't get it. Zave Brodnick and Steele filed a proposed order granting motion for summary judgment and then they have it dated June 22nd.
Yes.
The judge didn't even sign this. It's unsigned.
Okay. But what did they sign? They only signed the writ?
They signed the judicial form, which is the UD 110, and you just checkbox all the different appropriate boxes. And inside here, it's saying a statement of decision pursuant to CCP 632 was not requested. I've requested for a statement of decision throughout the whole trials. So this judgment is so out of whack, and it's so false. It shocks the mind how corrupt the court really is. And then Section 2 is checked after court trial. I never had a trial. It says the jury was waived. The court considered the evidence. The case was tried on, and then it has the date and time. Motion for summary judgment hearing, June 22nd, 2012, or 2017. And then Timothy J. Stafford.
Wait a minute. Cindy, wait a minute. I've talked to you about this for years. You never waived a jury trial.
Exactly.
Who waived the jury trial for you?
Timothy J. Stafford.
What? That's practicing law from the bench. He can't be a neutral referee and do that, in my opinion. Maybe we need to bring back firing squads and the Minutemen and have instant trials for judges. Or maybe we should do a We the People grand jury in your county. I think we need probably 10 of them. I think one grand jury wouldn't be enough. You need probably 200-300 people to serve on these grand juries in just your county alone. It's as corrupt as Los Angeles County, and their sheriff has been ordered to prison just like your sheriff, Mike Corona.
But it gets even better here. He totally gave me the wanger here. He says, parties, judgment is the Bank of New York Mellon, formerly known as the Bank of New York, as successor in interest to J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A., as trustee for Structured Asset Mortgage Investments 2, Inc., Bear Stearns Alt-A Trust, 2006-2, Mortgage Pass-Through Certificate Series 2006-2. This is a known trust that is terminated. It was suspended for failure to file its F-15 form with the Securities Exchange Commission. And it's the party inside that court department, it says right here, is a trustee. A trustee is a third party. Third party can't come in and move the court. But Judge Stafford allowed the trustee to come in and not have to appear, not have to provide discovery, cross-examination, deposition, nothing. He gave them the biggest, brownie and just told me, step aside. You have no rights.
Wow. It sounds like we need a special solitary confinement cell at the underground prison level of Pelican Bay for Judge Timothy Stafford, along with several other judges and attorneys. I cannot see a grand jury led by Tony Rakoukis's peons taking your information and indicting the judge. I just can't see it. So,
yeah. You want to hear something even more appalling? On number 5, it's checkbox. Judgment applies to all occupants of the premises, including tenants, subtenants, if any, and named claimants, if any. And then he checks box subsection C, the rental agreement is canceled, and checkbox, the lease is forfeited. When was I ever a tenant?
They're covering all their bases. They're just
wow.
Yeah, they're just in case you lease it to somebody, they're covering all their bases. What they're doing, Cindy, this is a crime. This is a white collar crime that has been perfected by what I call the bank gangsters, whether it's B of A, Wells Fargo, Wacko Pinko Incorporated, Craig Ronald Diamond and his partners.
Yeah.
They're all
Keila Holmes was one of the original females that started the scam and started it over with Craig Diamond and Michael Osmond, Denise Anderson, Brian Feigelman with Loan Leaders of America, Christian Todd Fisher with Fidelity National Title Company. I mean, the list goes on. And then all the attorneys that represented those parties were basically colluding with them. It was the biggest heist of $1 million home by stripping all of its equity and then blaming it on me. And all the judges bought into it.
Right. In case you don't realize, people, we've been talking with the gold medal Olympian Cindy Brown from the 1988 Olympics. She helped the American women's team win the gold medal.
So the banks can steal it.
Just so the banks can steal everything she earned. And she did it representing we the people. I want to ask you, if anybody gets this message and you're in Orange County, you need to go check with Cindy. She's on Facebook. You need to go ask the bailiff in Department C66, which I think is the 4th floor of the Santa Ana Courthouse at 700 Civic Center Way. You need to go ask that bailiff why he hasn't arrested Timothy Stafford. I've watched him chuckle and laugh as he reads the forged documents, and he looks at Cindy. He looks at the forged documents where it says she's a, check it off, white woman. Now, is this the new color of white people? Judge Stafford chuckled about it, didn't he, Cindy?
Made a public spectacle of me.
Yeah, you know.
Got everyone laughing.
And he just went.
He's arrogant.
He's arrogant, and he went right ahead and ruled in the bank's favor.
He's above the law. Nobody can touch him. He talks down to the defense, and never once insults the other side.
He didn't insult the other side, but I will say at one time I think it was him, he asked if you had plans to go to law school because your motion was so well written. Was that Judge Stafford?
Yeah, but that's a pat on the head so that he can eventually,
stick it to you.
Squash me.
Yeah, he's getting ready to stick it to you.
Yeah,
so what we need is
motion was never granted.
We need a We the People grand jury to get your oath of office in Orange County, get the correct oath of office, sign it, get it certified that you signed it, file it, and also contact an insurance company, get a bond to protect you as an officer doing business for We the People. File your oath of office and your bond with the county. Find yourself a foreman among the 21, 22, 23, 25 of you, and then call Cindy up and say, we want you to come down and testify so we have it on our records. Where does the authority of this come from? It comes from U.S. versus Williams, a Supreme Court case of 1992, found it, right, you see it right here, 504 U.S. 36. It was the majority opinion of SCOTUS. SCOTUS is Supreme Court of the United States. And it was the majority opinion written by the now dead Anthony Scalia. Cindy, I want to thank you for giving us an update. Do you intend to stay right in your house till they drag you out?
They're not going to drag anything. They're going to stand down. I've contacted a senator. I've contacted a couple other places. Mr. Stafford, if you're watching this, you need to be very careful with going forward on other cases like this. This is not the way Congress intended the stats to be performed. This is not. It is way off base, and people are watching now.
Well, thank you, Cindy. I know you've got work to do. We're going to say goodbye to you now, and thank you very much for this impromptu, last-minute update on your case. I wish you well. You know I do.
Thank you. I'll keep you tuned. This is only the beginning.
Thank you.
He just upset me, and maybe we'll have to, go a different direction to get it back on track. But Stafford, I'm prepared to add him to the list.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a good night, Cindy.
You're welcome.